Howdy ho! Alright, I actually am taking this day off. I was supposed to leave from my route earlier today, but they moved a delivery out, so I'm off today. And heading out to do some errands. But I'm gonna talk about something that is really just making me laugh. And it's I discovered, I don't know how this popped up on my Facebook feed, but I saw a video. Apparently now, you know, since people that have no jobs and they have nothing to do in life other than protest. So now there's people out protesting against circumcision. You know, like when you're a baby and you get the foreskin cut off of your penis. I can understand why people would be protesting this, because there's really no reason to do it. It doesn't, to me, I don't know. I don't know the whole ins and outs of this, okay? And there's gonna be a little TMI in this. I'm circumcised, okay? I was born in the 80s. I feel like most kids were circumcised in the 80s. I think it's like a Jewish thing. I don't know why we do it here in the United States, but here's the thing. I saw this video, and it's people in like all white, right? They're wearing white pants, white shirts, everything. And they're like, circumcisers should be in prison. And foreskin is not a birth defect. Well, no shit. It's on every kid. It's on every guy. Like, we know it's not a birth. Who the fuck said that's a birth defect? Nobody. Here's the thing. And they've got like blood. They've painted blood around their crotch. The women and the men. The women are doing it too. It's so weird. Because here's the thing. I discovered that people get really offended at this. I commented on that video with the protesters. And I was like, I personally am glad that my shit doesn't look like Earthworm Jim. If you don't know who Earthworm Jim is, please Google it. And you will laugh your ass off at the context that I'm referring to this in. Because uncircumcised dudes look like Earthworm Jim. I remember I was a kid. I remember I was in like first grade, kindergarten or first grade or something like that. And I thought that the way my dick was normal, which is circumcised. You know, you can see the head. I thought that was normal. So I remember I was in the bathroom one time, and when you're a kid, like, you ever see those like kids, like kindergartners or first graders, tend to like pull all of their pants down and they'll just walk around with it hanging. I was a kid, all right? This is the first time I had been around other kids like this, and I saw this kid who was not circumcised, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And I remembered, like, that was, I came home and I told my grandma about it, which is, she was the one that raised me. And she's like, that's because he's not circumcised and you are. And I'm like, well, what the hell, what's circumcised? It's like, well, they cut the extra skin off your dingling. I'm like, that was how I learned that was a thing. So, now ever since then, I've been like, well, okay, I didn't think much of it, you know? And I remember having this conversation when I was married, and how she was like so against circumcision and all this. And I'm just like, it's weird that you give a shit. It's weird that you care, or that you're like offended by it, because I'm circumcised. Is there a problem with my penis? And she goes, no, it's great. All right, declaration here, and I'm not bragging. I'm speaking as a circumcised man. If you're part of this weird group that's like really worried about boys' dicks for some reason, I understand there's no consent, that the boys don't, you know, they don't want it done, or they don't care, they're babies, okay? I don't remember that shit. Every single woman I've been with has never complained, okay? I'm a Pisces. I'm not big on the astrological crap. But I am a Pisces, okay? We tend to be good in bed, all right? No woman has ever complained. In fact, I've had pretty much every woman I've been with has said it's a pretty penis, okay? I understand there's women that watch my channel. I know there's men that watch it. The guys are probably like, we don't fucking need to know that. Some of the women might want to know it. I don't know. You're never gonna see it. Here's the thing. It also feels great. I don't know what it feels like to be uncircumcised, okay? But I do know that my entire sex life since I lost my virginity when I was 15 years old, right? That's pretty young, right? But the thing is, it feels great. I feel everything. They're like, oh, you lose thousands of nerve endings. You it's basically a disability. You can't feel anything. I fucking feel everything. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Sex feels great. And they're like, oh, it would feel better if you were uncircumcised. Like, I don't give a shit. It feels great to me. I feel everything, okay? Because the nerve endings there are nerve endings in the skin, obviously, in the foreskin. But most of the nerve endings in the penis are in the head of the penis. Anatomical lesson here, you weirdos. And then some dude commented on that post too. Like, even guys were like offended at it. They're like, cut guys always say they're fine. And I'm like, well, I found the earthworm gem. That's what you look like. Some other guy said that you prefer the crusty mushroom look. Okay, if yours looks like a crusty mushroom, one, that's your fault. You're not cleaning your shit. You need to learn how to bathe, motherfucker. And two, if yours looks like a crusty mushroom, you don't need to admit that. Mine looks great. I know I have a good looking wang lang dang, okay? I have a good looking one. I have literally had women tell me it's a great looking one, okay? I'm a little overconfident in some areas, okay? And that's, you know, I'm gonna stop talking about that. And then some other lady commented, she said, I'm glad my uncircumcised 66-year-old husband can still get it up and make me walk funny for days. I'm like, ew, okay, I don't need to know all that. Okay, I don't. And also, I don't care what your uncircumcised fucking elderly husband does. I don't give a shit. I'm good. All right, why? Women were acting like, it really offended these women. They were acting like I was like disabled and mutilated and raped or some shit. Like, seriously, they were literally talking to me. They said I was in denial. In denial of what? I was a baby. I don't remember that shit. I wasn't traumatized by it. I don't even have a scar. I literally don't have a scar. It looks good. It feels great. Everything works great. They were like, oh, you'll get erectile. I bet you have erectile dysfunction. What? No, that's not how it works. It's just skin. It's just skin. Yeah, there's no reason to remove it, but it's not like it's a fucking disability if it's gone. My shit looks great. And it feels great. Everything works perfectly. What are you talking about? Why are women so oddly offended that I'm circumcised and that I don't care that I was? Why are you so offended by that? That's the weirdest fucking thing to be offended by. To be worried about some strange man's penis that much. And to go after that man and tell him that he's in denial or that he was basically raped. Dude, you couldn't give consent. I don't give a shit. I was a baby. It's not the same as being raped, okay? It's not. YouTube, sorry, I'm saying the words. Oh my God. That is the weirdest thing I've seen in a long time, okay? What the hell, man? Like, people really just complain about everything. We literally make shit up to complain about in this country. That's all we do, is we have good lives. We have such good lives that we have to make things up to be mad at. And a lot of guys were, you know, on my comment, a lot of guys were agreeing with me. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm glad that my dick looks good. It doesn't look like a weird, floppy, you know, earthworm, basically. A lot of guys were agreeing with me. And all these women were like going after these men and insulting them. Like, what the hell is wrong with you, crazy women? Like, what the fuck? What is wrong with you? You're just weird. That's weird to be mad that men are glad that their day looks good. What the fuck? Why is that what? I understand that, you know, you wouldn't want to do something like that to a baby because, you know, there are rare times where it can cause complications, okay? But in 99.9% of us guys that got circumcised, one, we don't remember it, we weren't traumatized by it, nothing was wrong. We just got skin cut off. That's it. That's it. The one thing I don't believe you should do is get babies' ears pierced. You don't need their ears pierced. You know, I've seen that, and they're, you know, and it would usually be like a baby. It hurts. I get that, but that's unneeded. Circumcision's unneeded, I guess. But I don't care. Again, mine looks great. It doesn't look like Earthworm Jim. It doesn't look like an anteater's head. And every woman that I've been with is pretty much liked it. Okay. So why would I be mad that I was circumcised against my consent? It's not a disability. Some of these women legitimately thought that it makes your dick shorter. It doesn't make your dick shorter, but there is like an extra inch or so of foreskin, but that's not your dick. What the hell, man? That's not the same thing. And one dude, a man commented and said, it is a scientific proven fact that if you're not circumcised, if you have foreskin, you can exercise your dick and make it longer. Dude, if you really believe that, I have to question how many brain cells you have. You got at least 3 brain cells, and 2 of them are in the shop. And that last one is fighting for its fucking life on Internet Explorer right now. Oh my God. A guy actually believes this. He actually believed it. That's how stupid some people are. The internet, man, it never fails to amaze me. It never fails to amaze me. And there's people out, you know, Super Bowls today. I don't really care. Seahawks and Patriots. I don't like either team. I don't give a shit. There's these circumcision protesters are out at the Super Bowl with their, you know, blood red crotch white pants, and they God, give it a rest. What is wrong with people, man? I don't understand it. I don't understand how people could be this weird. It's a weird thing to be worried about. That's all. That's all for today. The Patriots are probably going to win the Super Bowl again. I hate them. No, have a good one.